Hi Aquarius, this is Griselle with Psychic MD. Thank you for joining me. So I'm doing a little bit of a cleanse here, a little bit of an incense. I already saged and we're going to get into it. Now I'm doing readings a little bit different. Aquarius, I'm actually fascinated and riveted by these cards. Let me show you. Okay, these are called Mudra cards. Let me get rid of this because it's distracting. So I'm going to go ahead and pull a couple of Mudra cards for you, and then I'll post it at the end of your reading in case you desire that you want to go ahead and try them for yourself. Now, I don't know a ton about these. I've had these cards for a while. I can't pronounce them either. So that's why I'm going to attach them. So if you know about the Mudras and I mispronounce, do forgive. But you know, if you've been watching me at all, dear Aquarius, that I kind of make up my own words anyways. So don't be surprised if I mispronounce, right? So Aquarius, I'd love to get into your energy right now. I'm super grateful to be here. And actually, I am seeing an old school fortune teller ball. Okay, like a fortune teller crystal, that kind of a thing. So I don't know what that's about, but take it for what it's worth. Aquarius, show me Aquarius and what they can benefit from. What kind of mudra is going to be helpful for them mentally, spiritually, emotionally? Anything that they need, please. What is this? Surrender. Surrender. Okay, so surrender. Oh my goodness, of course it is a word that it's long and I don't know how to pronounce. Prendihana. I'm just going to say Prendihana. Okay, so this is how you do it, and I'm going to read what I let you kind of observe the card itself. I'm going to hold it up so I can read. Prendihana Mudra. It assists with release, support, and grounding. It reduces tension, supports eliminatory and reproductive system, slows and redirects breath into the pelvis. It slows and redirects breath to the pelvis. Interesting. Bring the hands together. Connect the tips of the index and the pinky fingers. Curl the middle and the ring fingers in to touch the thumb tips. Rest the hands in front of the belly, wrists on thighs. Caution, it can lower blood pressure. So if you guys have blood pressure problems, use this with caution or not at all. Okay, I'm not a medical doctor, obviously. So, I don't, okay, I'm going to try to do this. Interesting. Let's see if I can actually, so it is like this. Interesting. Bring the hands together, connect the tips of the index and the pinky fingers, curl the middle and the ring fingers to touch the thumb tips. It's not quite. We're going to go by pictures. Okay, Griselle learns by pictures, I guess, but we're going to do it this way. Index fingers touching. Oh, it was like that. I did it right. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right, you guys, get it together, Griselle. Aquarius, here we go. Bring hands together. Connect the tips of the index and the pinky. Curl the middle and the ring fingers in to touch the thumb tips. Rest the hands in front of the belly, wrist on thighs. Okay. So it should, by the time we're done, look like this. And what I was looking at is the pinkies here touching. So if you can hold that pose and breathe into it. I'm going to try to do it, and yeah. How are the thumbs though? Okay. Sorry, you guys. Obviously, this is like really crazy. Oh, like this. Okay. And let's just breathe into it. And exhale. And breathe. and exhale. That's funny. So if you want to take a couple more breaths, I'm going to read here for you. It says, with deep awareness, I surrender what I no longer need. Isn't it funny that I had the hardest time with that mudra? And it's all about surrender, surrendering what I no longer need. Breathe in. With deep awareness, I surrender what I no longer need. Okay, one more time. Aquarius, what do you have to surrender that you no longer need? And if you're having problems figuring out the mudra, maybe you're like me and it's hard for you to surrender, which means we should be working on it more, right? All right, so I want to pull another mudra. That's a little bit amusing. Sorry about that. That was kind of a shit show, huh? So, Aquarius, another one for Aquarius, please. What is inner truth? I love this. Samputa Mudra. Samputa Mudra, okay? It assists with integrity, truth, and communication. Brings balance to the throat and vocal cords. Assists immune system. Opens clear communication. Supports balanced metabolism. Instructions: hold the left hand cupped facing upward. Bring the right hand palm facing downward, cupped over the left hand with fingers resting on the outer edge of left thumb. Bring hands into the belly center. Interesting. So let's see if we can do this. We meaning me. Okay. And you rest it on your belly. Samputa Mudra. It says, I speak my truth clearly with integrity and compassion. So go ahead, if you can hold that pose for a moment, and I will read for you. I speak my truth clearly with integrity and compassion. I speak my truth clearly with integrity and compassion. Breathe into it one more time. I speak my truth clearly with integrity and compassion. All right, moving on. Here we go. I just cracked myself up. I'm like having a good old time. Aquarius, I'm just seeing the Three of Wands right now. What are you waiting for? You have something coming. I feel like you're waiting for something to come towards you, or you're waiting for the right moment to go towards it. Aquarius, what is going on for Aquarius in April, please? Anything that they need to know. King of Wands, I feel like this is your energy. This could be like, you know what, I know how to fix things. I'm a mover and a shaker. I get excited about my own ideas. Typically does stand for like Leo, Aries, and that just swirled and kind of went sideways. So it could be that you're feeling like, you know what, I just don't know how to make things work. I have this fire. I know how typically to work with things, but there's an issue that I don't feel really confident about, okay? Two of Hazards, you are juggling something that has almost equal importance to you. If you look at this guy, he is actually has a zombie chained. And the zombie doesn't really have the rest of his body, I think. He's walking him kind of like a dog. This guy is kind of like, you know what? I got this. I am juggling things. I'm maybe juggling my bills. I'm maybe juggling two women, two men, a man, a girl, whatever. You are basically trying to have a balance, but there's two things equal importance. Maybe you're trying to juggle your home life and your work life, okay? Even if you work from home, it could be like I'm giving too much attention to one, not enough to the other. Trying to figure out that comfortable balance. And I feel like you are juggling in a way that is balanced, but I feel like you don't have the confidence to pick the one, okay? And I feel like one thing has to be, in this case, I feel like one thing needs to be like more important than the other. Maybe you're trying to wait and see which one is going to bring you like the most prosperity or a better reaction or a better response, whatever. Let's see where this goes, you guys. The Eight of Hazards here, okay. Aquarius, Eight of Hazards. What's going on here? I feel like you have put a lot of time and attention and focus and maybe money and maybe even formal school into something. If not, this could be studying a person, finding out what they like, what they love, what they put up with, what they won't, anything like that, anything that you really dedicated. Even if you're like a super sleuth, you put a lot of time into this, and you're going to know automatically what I'm talking about, okay? So whatever this is, you put time, energy into, a lot of heart into. Why is this juggling coming up? Oh, okay, Emperor. So what is it that you feel like, look at this door is like totally blocked off. Maybe you blocked something off and you want to open up the door again, but there's a lot of scary things like these zombies behind there. And so maybe you also, once upon a time, came across like, this is how it's done. I'm stoic. I know how it's done better. Or you had someone in your life that was really dogmatic and they think they have all the answers and this is how it's done, okay? But that door is basically nailed shut with these boards. There are monsters or really like other thoughts trying to creep through. But this Emperor feels like, and it could be that you feel like, you know what, I just know the answers. I know how to do things. But what he's not aware of is that their hands are already slipped through the cracks. And there's this little boy that they can almost easily reach if that man is not careful. If he is too dogmatic in his thinking, something can slip by your hands, slip through your hands, slip through your fingers. Maybe something already did. Or simply put, that could be someone who was in authority. It could be a boss, a lover, a brother, a father, anyone of authority, okay, that they have in their mind, this is how it's done and there is no other way. You do it my way or the highway and I will never look back. That kind of a dogma. Nine of Wands here. I feel like you could be a little bit on the defensive, feeling defensive. Not really sure where to go with this scenario. Aquarius, what's going on? This policeman, he is a zombie and he's got the arm of this lady and it's almost like, I don't see her fighting. I really don't. She's kind of like, all right, bite me. You know, I mean, there's so many of you. And this man is just kind of like watching what's transpiring. I never noticed him before. So it could be that you are the observer and that you are like aware of what's going on around you and you're thinking, you know, I'm kind of defensive. Why are people allowing themselves to be bit by this? Why are people following the masses and turning into like some robotic, thoughtless monster where there's like no more thinking for yourself, no humanity? And look at this guy gleefully, just like a big old smirk. I just noticed that. And it feels like you might be looking at the news, at the media and things like that, with people celebrating what's going on now and other people just like gleeful knowing. I mean, they're banking on this pandemic thing and they're banking on these shots. And yeah, I'm going to go there. Let me tell you guys, when, if nothing else, think about this. When has, at least in America, when have we offered anything for free? That was helpful. Do we get vitamins for free from the government? No questions asked. You sign up and you get them. Do we get food that we need for our bodies to sustain our family? Do we get free shelter? Do we get free provision, even free water? Do we get any of that stuff from our government? Are they urgent to set up facilities to make sure, hey, Griselle, do you have water? You don't have fresh water? I'm concerned about you. Let me set up provisions for you. That's never happened. Nothing's free, okay? And I'm going to spare you maybe what I think. There's an old saying that my mom taught me, and she swears she did not say this, but I swear she did. And I know I've read it in really old books when I was a teenager. You pay with grass, with cash, or with bleep. So basically there's always a payment. Somebody's paying for this. So who's paying for all of these vaccines? What is the benefit to that? Is it really all of a sudden we're all humanitarians and we love people and we love the world and we want to support? I've never seen that my whole life. I'm going to be 50 this year. And I'm just putting it out there. I mean, yeah, that sounds really cynical. And yeah, it's going to cause some fights maybe. Maybe you wrestle with the same ideas or notions, or maybe what I'm saying is pissing you off. I don't know. But I just want to say, do a little bit of homework. Look, do a little bit of super stealth, okay? Do a little bit of investigating. This is my Page of Swords. Want to cut through the bullshit? Here is transformation waiting for you to happen. And here's this really big, great monster. Like, I don't really know. I feel safe. Do I not? I'm a little bit defensive. There's a hatchet. So maybe mentally, Aquarius, you don't want to go there. Maybe you do. I'm just saying, doesn't it benefit us to think about all sides of the story? Look, the Five of Swords, okay? This is about deceit, about struggle and deceit. Two sides going at it. A lot of hands pulling at your attention. Maybe you have people in your life who are pro and other people who are con. There's a lot of fluctuating. Maybe even emotionally, you've been up and down about this whole topic. Or it could not be that topic at all. It could be something totally different, right? What else do we have? What are the lies and deceits about? What is this? I see this card about the Lovers. It's making a choice, something that's near and dear to you. It could be a person that, like, once upon a time stole your heart, or somebody that has your heart and they are willing to betray, okay? So if the storyline fits you, Aquarius, that's great. If it doesn't, like, move on, no big deal. But this is about having to make a choice. And it could be about making a choice between how we see life before and how we see life now. Like, maybe during an awakening and saying, you know what, why is the government so concerned with our health and putting everything out there for free, like literally no cost to you, just a jab in your arm, you guys. That's all it is. No big deal. No big deal, but we care for you. Haven't you taken enough, maybe some of you guys are saying, in love with an idea, an ideal that is of old, and not seeing that maybe your heart is being ripped out. If this is about a love situation, then this could be about making a decision between two lovers, two equally important things, anything like that, okay? This is getting deep, you guys. This is about, whoo, look, your inner truth, okay? Inner truth and surrender. So we're getting these really heavy cards. Maybe just surrender to new ideas that are going to show you what is outdated in your life, things that no longer serve you. A love affair. I feel like I have a love affair personally with, like, the 1940s, the 50s, a little bit with the 60s, not so much, but especially the 50s. I feel like I was born in the wrong era. And this love affair, my ideas of how, maybe it was romanticized as well, just to be perfectly honest, but my ideas of the 1950s, of, you know, everything to do with war and the women power, we can do this, and all the different stages of things that happened during the 50s can be a little bit romanticized, about being the quintessential housewife, about having that apron on and welcoming your family home and having the picket fence and all of that. That for me has been really, really painful to let go of. That's all that I personally have ever wanted. And that, yeah, has ripped out my heart, because I just found that that for me wasn't true. It didn't become what I wanted it to, and yet a lot of times I still want to pull it close and romanticize it and feel that, like, maybe somebody's out there that is going to love me or feel the same way and have a loyalty towards me, and vice versa. So it could be anything like that, and I'm just sharing my experiences, my ideas with you. It could be whatever it is that you, if it resonates, you're going to know what it is, okay? Maybe surrender what no longer is for you. How does it put it? How did it put it here? With deep awareness, I surrender what I no longer need. Maybe it's just allowing Spirit, God, whomever, just to really change your life and surrender things that no longer become you. Even that dogma, the emperor, of wanting things their own way, can stand for old school establishments, you know, like edificios, courthouses. It could stand for, you know, the law as we know it, and it could stand for public establishments. It could stand for schools and governments and all of those things that have authority. But inner truth. So I feel like there's a need for you to surrender and have that inner truth just come to light, and being able to speak from a place that, you know what, this is your truth, this is your reality. But I feel like some things need to burn away. Thank you. And I'm feeling a lot of energy right here. I think that you may even be getting your own messages, maybe feeling energy that you don't really quite know what that is, but all it is energy of spirit, like kind of trying to get your attention. When it's on my crown chakra, it's definitely messages from spirit. When it's on my right side, it's definitely like, do this, is an action, this is for you to do. When it's on my left side, then this is more accepting in your intuition in the softer feminine side. That's how I do it. Everybody's different. What else do we need to know, please? I didn't know this reading was going to get so heavy. Aquarius, what else do they need to know? What ancestors are here to help, please? Oh, gosh. I didn't mean to pull that many, but here we are. All right. So we have this guy right here. Of course, it can be, you know, gender fluid. It can be male, female, but I feel like this was an older relative. Somebody who, they weren't old. They were maybe in their 20s when you were younger. That's a possibility. But somebody who was a little bit reserved, conservative. I think somebody who had minimal interaction with you if they were alive in this, you know, generation, or if they were a couple of generations removed, you haven't really felt their presence at all. And I kept getting Jim, Jimbo, name with a J, everything else eludes me, but anything like that you could be feeling. This person could be just very traditional. They look very traditional, and it could be just a nod towards, yeah, that's something that I am really kind of struggling with or thinking about, or that somehow, some way it bears weight to the situation you're reading. Okay. Now, also here, I have this other die cut of this guy. I love these. This is all about an ancestor who is loyal, who had a lot of loyalty, loved dogs. I feel like they were a little bit of a clown. They could have worked on a farm. I still look at this as like, is it galoshes? That's the word. And these hands that are covered with these like crazy wild gloves. And so they could have lived in cold weather, maybe even during the Great Depression or anything like that, but it could be further. So I feel like this ancestor's here letting you know what, we're loyal, we're here for you, we're here with you. And everything does, I mean, history does repeat itself. So maybe you want to tap in to that and see what messages your own ancestors have for you. It is very possible and easy to do. All you have to do is just kind of set intention, open up your mindset. If you'd like to make me to make a video about it, how to do it, anything like that, just let me know. I just don't know if people are interested in that kind of stuff. So everybody has their own style. So I guess I would explore like how to get messages from the other side in different ways, different techniques that I've tried. Moving on. Aquarius, if you're not mad at me, can you please like, share, comment, subscribe? I would really appreciate those things. Next up, we have ancestors for you. I have 2 aunts here, maybe 2 sisters. It could be like your grandma and her sister, something like that. But I feel like there were, they didn't see each other very often later in life, but I feel like they would come together and they would dress to the nines, that kind of a thing. Maybe a little bit pretentious with each other, but there is a lot of love there. I feel like they are on your corner right now. I think that, I think they're going to be able to really help you expose like what is, this is kind of a pretense for you. You don't need it anymore. They're going to be that support. They're going to be supporting your surrender, and maybe even your inner truth. They go hand in hand. You can't make this up. But surrendering things that really don't become you. It's like, why do I have to have those shoes that have red on the underside that are really super expensive, or they're really expensive bags or anything like that? Is that really your truth? Does it make you happy? No, it really doesn't. I could care less, but everybody else has them and I want to feel like I fit in. I want to feel that warmth and that love. How else can you get warmth and love? These ancestors are here to help you with all those questions, okay? Woo! Anyways, moving on. What else do we have? We're gonna go ahead and pull some soul cards too. So, soul cards too. What do the ancestors have to say For Aquarius, please. Aquarius, messages from ancestors would be really appreciated. Anything that can help. What is this? Oh, I pulled 2 cards. Good. So, interesting. Look at this image here. I feel like this is almost kind of like a dragon, and then this is a hand from the middle of nowhere. It's like a hand holding a hand. It's almost like your ancestors saying, you know what, I hold your hand through these things. I can help you. Illuminate yourself. Allow messages to come through. You are kind of in a bit of a brain fog. Things are feeling dark. You could have been feeling some depression, some negative energies. Some of those energies, by the way, are not your own. You are absorbing from other people. And so just keep in mind, just like soot is easily stuck to walls and stuff like that when something is burning, energy is very similar. It can get stuck on you because maybe you're an empath or anything like that. You could just get stuck with other people's emotions and fears. But there's a lot being carried on your back, a lot of negativity on your back, I feel. Maybe you feel like you have to hold a status quo or a certain standard, and you feel like this dragon might consume you, okay? And I do feel like you once in a while can feel spirit saying, hey, I'm here for you, that kind of a thing. Ay, Chihuahua, my about itches. So messages are readily available if you are willing to accept, okay? They're really here for you. I don't want to say it's nothing special, but it kind of isn't. Now, if I turn this to the side, now all of a sudden I see this really great big creature. This is interesting. Yeah, it's like, okay, so I'm looking at it from this perspective. It's almost like this big, great creature, like a lizard or like a turtle, like a snapping turtle. I don't know, but it looks like a lizard type animal or a dragon type. Anyways, regardless, I feel like, look, this lady's consumed by this dragon, and this limb is sticking out. And now, bumping the card on its side, it has a totally different meaning. So maybe some of you are feeling like this big, great dragon is eating away at our lives, our society is sneaking in there. And I'm just going to say this whole COVID thing started with China. And so it could be some perceived ideas and stuff about China really consuming our world and consuming our very being, and you getting illumination about things like that. Okay, so I know this is not popular belief or popular to even talk about. So here we are, regardless. I'm going to say that, you know, you are getting your own messages through spirit, so definitely take those before anyone else. Ooh, this is gorgeous, you guys. Look, I feel like you have someone here with some really beautiful wisdom. A mother figure, grandmother figure, like a lady who is willing to just give you that illumination if you are open to it. I feel like you feel her presence there. It could be just a little bit warmer when you feel the presence, and if you get quiet and just ask what messages you have for me, or can you please help me, you're going to get those messages loud and clear. You might even feel like a touch, like a caress, because I feel like this hand is almost like caressing a face. So there's a lot of messages there, but this person isn't going to really come forward. They're not going to mess with you. On the other side, spirits don't want to scare you. They don't want to bother you, and so they'll let you know that they are present, but they're not going to be shoving their energy, for lack of a better way, down your throat, kind of like this. Check this out. Shoving it down your throat. Okay, I'm just putting it out there. So they're not going to be like that. They're going to be very soft, very like, are you awake yet? Are you ready to hear my message? This could be someone who was native, lived on native soil, like native Indian, anything like that. But I just feel like it's an older, beautiful lady who didn't really give a lot of speech. She just gave as people were willing to receive, then she would give. She would just test out the waters. Hey, you know, it's kind of like when you prepare a meal or something like that. You don't shove meals down people's throats. This is somebody who's very kind and generous and loving and wants the best for you. They're willing to hold your hand. They have a ton of wisdom, and you can have that. It's right at your fingertips should you decide that that's something that you're interested in. So anyways, Aquarius, with much love, thank you so much for your time. I hope this reading resonates. If it does, once again, smash that button, click like, subscribe, comment, share. I would like to know your thoughts. If you want me to do a reading about like how to communicate or different techniques on contacting spirit, anything like that, let me know. So with that, I will leave you. Much love to you, and namaste.